What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen? Day Traders Club Swings for Traders. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Yeah, it feels like a Friday to me. I don't know why. I don't know why it feels like a Friday, but midweek, we got some key PPI numbers. We're about halfway through the at least some of the major news, and then later today we do have Jerome Powell speaking. We have the beige book, I believe, coming out today as well. So that should be interesting and probably move the market at least. But PPI came in uh, pretty soft, pretty light. So market just kind of hanging out from that. But man, we got Al in the house. We got Albert in the house. Good morning to Albert Chang. Good morning to Andrew, Bill, Brian, Christopher. Good morning. We got Eric, Fabrice, George J, Jeremy, Ritz. Good morning to Joe, JT, Lawrence, Lauren, Rick, GJ. We got Wally in the house. All my peeps out in YouTube land. I got one screen because I am traveling today. But Richard Jet, good morning to you. We got Leonard, good morning to you as well. And let's pull up the spy. Let's see where we're at with this little move, tiny little move from PPI. Small gap. I mean, nothing crazy. We kind of ran a little bit after hours yesterday, so not really much happening from, at least in terms of reaction. Again, CPI came in a little bit hot. I think it was like month over month, what, point 0.1 higher than expectations. PPI comes in 0.1 lower than expectations. So essentially we're around flat with CPI. No real reaction there. And if we pull back up this daily chart, we do have a little retest gap. Pretty good close yesterday. I did buy some puts yesterday. I gave a lot of time on those puts. I think it's mid-March, something like that, just because I had an alarm that did go off. So as soon as we hit that 464.15, part of my plan was just get a little bit of longer term protection. So I did that, but I'm probably expected to lose those. We'll see what happens. I mean, we do have 7 weeks nonstop bullishness. I'm like, maybe we get a pullback in January, or maybe the beige book does something today. I don't know, but right now it looks like nonstop bullish. We're just at that one spot. After this spot, so especially if we start breaking out of, I would say we got not even much. We got 465.60. We start breaking out of 465.60. The next spot I got on this chart takes us up to roughly about 468, almost 469. That would take us to 472. If we could break that, we've got nothing really until 476. So plenty of room to the higher side. All the volume is below us. And it is a retest gap out of the gate today. So be careful on some of the bullish moves, at least right out of the gate. And then we do have Jerome to worry about too a little bit later today. So again, we don't know how that meeting is going to affect the market or how this day looks at the end until we get there. But we'll see what happens. We got QQQ. Let's see the reaction there. The Qs, which did make a good break, really 2 days ago. So really on Monday, good close, good follow through yesterday. Again, and same thing. We're up pretty massively, and today is technically a retest gap. We're sitting right at 421 pre-market. We even broke that 400 mark on the Qs. I'm running out of volume spots. I've got pretty much no more volume zones. So any bears that are still trying to protect their positions, I don't know. At this point, when do they throw the flag? And I'm not sure, but we got 403.20, I think would be the spot. So that still gives us about $3 higher on the Qs. But again, keep in mind, this is now, again, same thing. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row of buying, and we do have a gap up. So I would expect a little bit of patience or waiting. I don't know if I really want to go short, but I don't think I can go long at the open either. So I want to see if there's any at least pullback or maybe a tad worry from Jerome Powell coming in. We'll have to see, but so far nothing. TLT does gap pretty much all the time. I've got a level of resistance at 95.45, support on TLT brings us down to about 94.64, 94.69. So we're at the higher end range. We have a little bit more risk to reward to the downside than we do to the upside, but this is also a retest gap, and we're just kind of hanging out in that range. So nothing too crazy on TLT, but we are holding up. So that does still give the market a little bit more room to continue just staying on that bullish trend. Lauren says Twilio, TTWO. TTWO. Looks fantastic. Oh, I thought it was Twilio. Take two. Yeah, that's not Twilio at all. Take Two Interactive. Uh, looks like a really nice gap. I'm looking for about 163.43 to maybe 164.76, somewhere in that zone. Otherwise, we breaking out of any serious volume. The last big red volume, this was a gap and go here. So that was a good gap and go yesterday. I missed it. Now kind of breaking above that. Do we have I don't know if we have a squeeze on this one. Invis, let's see what the short float is. TTWO. It's getting ready for GTA 6. Weren't they supposed to come out with that game like 6 years ago? They got a 3% short float. What was the other one? So there's GTA and then there's another game. Oh, it's coming out. Yeah, GTA, I think, right? There's one more game that one of the games comes out like every 3 months, and then there's a game that takes like years. I think it's GTA. So 2025. You got a long time until that comes out. Oh, it's gonna be yeah. That game's gonna be massive. The last GTA that was released wasn't that like 2 years ago, something like that. They take a while to get the next ones out. Over 10 years. Wow. All right, but that is a good gap. Not so much of a short squeeze at all. We got AMD, GNE. Is that correct, or is that GME? VLD. Let's check that one out first. VLD. This one looks like it's just been. What is this one? Product manufacturing. This one looks like it's just been death to Smoochie. Yeah. And we're down to 54 cents. I don't know anything about this company, so just roughly looking at this, they look pretty inconsistent with profits. We do have earnings coming out soon. Looks like there's also probably some news, which I don't know if that news, I think it's just general news. I don't even think it's news on this company, but I don't know what the financials look like. I don't know what this company does. For day trade purpose, it's anything under $5. This is technically a penny stock. This one qualifies on every single front as a as a penny stock, and yeah, it's going to be tough to day trade. It looks like this chart is just dead, and probably based on this chart, looks like it will be zero at some point. But again, I don't know the fundamentals or what they do exactly. So if you do a little research on the company and you're like, yeah, no, this company is definitely not going to zero, you got limited downside risk. Otherwise, besides that, yeah, it doesn't look too healthy for any type of a rebound. Let's take a look at AMD. AMD had a great day yesterday as well. All the chips kind of rallied. Good rally from all the chips. Probably looking for a continuation here. Let me see if there's any other spots that could hold us up. We're into kind of that volume area, I guess. The next spot on this one, we kind of hit that yesterday. It's for 140.27. After that, probably next spot is about 147. I would continue bullish on AMD. It doesn't tell me any reason why we can't have any continuation. We are gapping up slightly with the rest of the market inside yesterday's candle, but also above yesterday's VPOC. I think this puppy keeps on running another $10 from here. Maybe not today, but I'd be looking for about a $10 higher move on AMD. So nothing really to be bearish yet on AMD, and probably zero resistance in the way. Let me just check Nvidia. Uh, Nvidia pre-market, that one's gapping down slightly, so it looks a little different than AMD. Really good close yesterday, though. I like that close. Bullish engulfing candle. Still in a chop zone. So to the higher side, I mean, if you're looking to go long, this is probably a decent spot to try. If we start to break down 175.20, so about 15 cents from here, I'd look for a full on retest into 469.84. But otherwise, besides that, really good bullish engulfing candle. To the higher side, the first spot is 477.20, so not going to make much there. And then after that, we got 481.78. So a little bit of room, but not a huge range still. But that was a good, at least looking like a mini double bottom, good bullish engulfing candle. And we still want to see some continuation on this one. Back to, I think we get back to probably about 497, especially if this bull market just continues. But for day trade purpose, probably only have a $5 each way, something like that. Airbnb. So Airbnb got a downgrade yesterday. Was a retest gap, but they also downgraded Expedia as well. So I don't think it was more of a downgrade on Airbnb specifically. I think it was more of just like travel industry. Like, if the prices keep going up, no one's going to be able to afford to travel anymore. I don't know. I don't know. We kind of shook off that downgrade pretty quickly yesterday, and that was still a retest gap. Really good gap today into one level of resistance. For right now at open, and it is a retest. So see if we can fade a little bit, but watch this level right here, somewhere around 143.23. So about 23 cents higher, roughly. Let me just see if I can get a more specific number, maybe 143.15. If we start to break that out, we'll continue to look for continuation. Otherwise, see if there's at least a little pullback at open. The next high volume candle, which is an extremely high volume, we're sitting at the bottom of that candle. If Airbnb could break 144.99, so 145, let's say, maybe a little bit higher. Let me see. Where's that volume candle? Yeah. So if we could break 145, the next stop on this one, we'll get continuation to 148.40. Still looks strong. And the fact that we shook off that downgrade from yesterday, there's definitely a lot of strength in here. My game plan on this one would be see if we get the fade, see if we come back into maybe this 139.86, and then that might be a spot to buy it up. Or if we start to break 143.15 ish, come back, retest that, and then start to move. Might be an interesting play as well. Every day is just green on Airbnb, but I mean everything else too. All right, we got MasterCard from Peter. Finally broke out of that little consolidation we were sitting in. MasterCard, nice close yesterday. Doesn't look like we have much on a gap front, but I would still look for continuation. I'm gonna throw this one higher. I wouldn't mind trying to play this one. Just more of a continuation than anything. Go, 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 go. Get to the top. That was it. They didn't even move it. All right, I just got to remember MasterCard. I'm going to throw MasterCard in my other chart since it didn't want to cooperate here. Just remember. And then the other thing that we want to look for is how much range do we have? So even yesterday on that breakout candle, the low was 415, the high was about 421, close to, so $5-6. Okay. We can make something work there on a just again, it's not like an amazing gap, nothing crazy like that, but does look like it easily could get some continuation. Tessie. What a struggle bus. Something does not look like the others. Uh, you got good risk reward. I played this one almost to the penny yesterday. I picked up some call options off of 234, I believe. I was waiting, just stalking, just watching this one yesterday. So I was able to capture a good move. Uh I had a good wave count going, and then right on that candle, right as we had a good support, this looks like it was breaking down. I was like, let me take a shot just for the basis of this daily chart. So I was able to have a pretty decent win yesterday on Tesla. Wasn't the most fun. Now I'm completely lost on the chart. Where are we? Yeah, all the way over there. But I think the same play would apply. We do have this 200 on the daily that's sitting somewhere around 231.74. But as we start to hit this lower edge again, and if we could get maybe about 85 cents lower, even in this range, we still could get bought up into that VPOC from yesterday. So 236.53. And I think if we start to break, I wouldn't even necessarily say yesterday's candle, but I think that would be a good spot. Probably this candle here. So anywhere below 233.50, I think I just want to be out of that thing and see if this thing pulls back a little bit further to 231.62. But yeah, it doesn't look great. It is inside candle. It is a retest gap as well. So I think we could play this one probably bullish if you guys want to. Nice hammer yesterday, but obviously no continuation, no gap up, nothing like that. It just would be a more risk reward than anything else at this point. But trying to buy low, sell high. It's what I did yesterday. So if I'm gonna play Tesla, I'll see if we can get some pullbacks a little bit further, and try to do the same thing. You got Amazon. Amazon still looks good. I got one little spot, 148.74. So if that one starts to break, it's about 30 cents higher. Uh, and I think that is a breakable spot. Next immediate target, about 150.67. After that, we got 151.41. But yeah, pretty good gap there. Again, this is also a retest gap, and we are at resistance. So see if Amazon wants to pull back a little bit first, maybe come back down into which would get us better risk reward on the trade, but 147.15. That could get us moving a little bit. That would be the bounce spot. Um, but yeah, we want to watch that 140.48.78. If that starts to break, I don't think there's any retesting being had. Otherwise, yeah, let's move this one a little bit higher as well. Even though my trading view don't want to move anything today. All right, let me see Microsoft MSFT. Microsoft for Eric. Looks like we do have a little bit of gap up here. Same thing, retests. That was a good breakout. This is a good gap, at least. I don't know if we come on all the way back for the full retest. See if we come down into like 375.16. If we could at least pull back into that, that gets us a little bit better risk reward. We should also maybe get held up at 376.48. But lots of consolidation. Not really. I mean, every single day here was green. We have one red day. This one probably comes back for a retest. Looks like we do have some buying pressure here. Otherwise, for swing trade, looks like we broke out. We would have to try to break through. I think that the target we really got to watch for is 380.81, and then if we start breaking that, I think we continue up higher. Continue a little bit higher. All right, let's see what I'm missing. We got Oxy, Starbucks, Roblo, Apple. I'm missing them all. We did look at NVIDIA, so I got one of them. All right, let's take a look at Starbucks, SBUX. I believe we had. Oh, interesting. I got a few moving averages above us. Let's do a quick fib on this one. So we started the move. It's not going to be to the penny, but close somewhere down there. And then we got up there. This is the 618 we're hanging around. We are on the wrong side of all those moving averages. So we'd have to fight through all of that to continue up. But a little bit of a consolidation, good volume, good break above it. I would watch the break of yesterday. So if we start breaking, so even as a swing trade, I don't know how I want to play this as a day trade with all those moving averages coming in. But I also see a pretty high volume area, somewhere around 98.47. That's about 21 cents higher from where we're at. And we are inside day. That might be an interesting candle I'll play a swing on. Definitely have some room to the higher end of things. Even retracing back to like 102, that gives us about $4 to the higher side. This might be a pretty decent looking swing. Great breakout, good close above that. This is kind of retest inside. Yeah, I'd have to break yesterday's high, and I think that would set me up for maybe a day trade and or swing trade. Probably prefer the swing trade on that one. All right, let's see what I'm missing. Roblox, RBLX. It's been fighting that downtrends. Still inside that downtrends. Except for this gap up this morning. This could be fun. Let's see if we get a little pullback on Roblox. I'm going to push this one higher on the list. This is our first open outside, but it is a retest gap. So see if we get a little pullback. Man, TradingView is not moving anything for me today. Targets on this one about 44.71, somewhere in that zone. I'd buy the dip. You got Take Two Interactive moving today as well, so that could help out Roblo too. Let's see. I'll give it one more try to move up a little higher. I'm gonna move one at a time. I know I could just simply refresh my screen and it will start working, but that's okay. All right, let's take a look. Oxy. So Oxy's been on a struggle bus as of late. Not a great close yesterday. Good volume on that close as well. You got Teddy Bear Buffett still holding this thing up, and we are at a very, very major support. Not a great close yesterday whatsoever on Oxy, though. And if we start to break this, now we got all this volume back here. So 58.61. This might be a fun candle also for some type of a swing trade. I don't know how about the risk reward on it, but this would be one if we could take a break of this candle higher with that volume, being that we are at some type of support. So bulls, aka Buffett, and anybody that just does whatever Buffett does, might try to bring this thing up, and anybody short on this thing could look to get trapped. So that would be 56.70 would be a good, interesting buy spot. Again, my target, and this is why this one might not work so great just in terms of targets, but probably 58.61. Otherwise, there should be, with that close, there should be in that volume more downward pressure. All that volume is now above us, and looks like it might continue to drop into the real next spot. The bull's going to try to save this thing is about $50.94. After that, we're into this 48, 43 zone. And then if we can't do anything there, 39.84. So it has a big drop, a lot of room to the downside. You are making lower highs as well. So we'll see if this bearish pressure does continue downwards. I'm sure there's going to be a spot where Buffett is buying again until he essentially just owns the whole company. He hasn't put out any statements that he was going to. VRTX. What do I got? 4 minutes, 27 seconds left. Pharmaceutical. Typically don't trade those. That is a good gap and go into a little bit of resistance, though. So we got some resistance right above us. Otherwise, that is a pretty good gap and go. I would see if we get at least a little pullback from here first before buying it up. And I'm not sure why the gap either. So just check on that one. Coinbase, COIN. Yeah, so crypto's starting to pick up a little bit overnight. Otherwise, we're still in just a big consolidation period. So, and even pre-market, we just got a crazy little bounce around. So 139.61, we're pretty much flat into this highway from yesterday. I think we do break out more bullish from here. I think we still have about $30 higher. So I would be looking for continuation bullish, but we have to, after that move that we just had, we have to let some of those moving averages catch up still. So for day trade purpose, I think we're probably going to sit out Coinbase. Continue to let those moving averages. We might need a few more days on this one before it goes, but I'd still be slightly more bullish than bearish on it. Enphase. I'm still mad at Enphase. I had just under $72 as a buy price. I should be more. It only hit it after hours. I was hoping for one more little pullback. Missed it. But I'll be patient. I'm not buying here. It was quite the move from about $72, which doesn't even show on the chart because it was all after hours. But we did hit 72. We went on a pretty big tear. I'd want to see at least a pullback into. I think targets on this one, even for looking for day trade, maybe comes down to like 93.24 today. But if we get back to like 81.71, maybe come a little bit lower, I'd start picking up some shares for the long term. Just missed it. Yeah, Fed talks today at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Eastern. We'll see. And I think we do have the beige book today too. I think the beige book is maybe the beige book is 2 and then the Fed talks 2:30. Usually I think the beige book comes out first, but we'll see. Let's see if I'm missing anything else. GNE. Genie Energy. Where's my energy come from? I don't know. It's magic. I'm not in this one. I have no positions. If you are in this one, it still looks like it gets some continuation. You have a lot of green days in a row. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to sell some covered calls on it at this point if you are in this position, or if you do own it long term. But otherwise, yeah, if I was to make a position on this one, I'd have to get some kind of pullback, minimum 25.60. But it's, I mean, when you got the genie on your side, what could go wrong? All right, did I miss any other tickers, or is there any other ones out there? Let me see one more time. Oh, Apple. Yep, that one I missed. AAPL. 95.01. I got resistance on this somewhere about 95.60. Look for support. This is a retest gap. See if we get a pullback to 194.33. That might be an interesting spot. Looks like we spent the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So 5 trading days, really just consolidating after a good breakout. Again, still looks bullish to me. We are at major resistance. But it does look like the bulls are still at this point trying to hold on and start to break this pivot. If this thing could break, the entire market's going to go nuts. SPY just pulled back a little bit. So we just had a little bit of a pullback channel. That is the opening bell. Everybody out there in YouTube land, I appreciate you guys joining us each and every day. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Otherwise, we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Even though it feels like a Friday, it feels like tomorrow should be a Saturday. I don't know why, but I'll be here. Take it easy, guys.